Oh, my dear, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. I don't need to explain all this to you because you've done this before, but don't forget, this is not an exact science. Got to think outside the box a little bit, and they don't give me all the details, just enough so you know what they're talking about. And you can always go back and people have told me lately they go back and listen to them like several days later, and you'll get more out of it. Like you'll pick up on things that you missed the first time. And I don't know why I felt the need to say that for this one, but anyway, so we're going to talk to Joe. Make sure I got the right name. That's why I ask for their name when I do readings, because I stink at names and I hate saying, hey, you. So I like to call them by their name. Oh, and just as I said that, a little message popped up about Joe Exotic. I don't know. Anything that pops up while I'm doing a reading ties into it somehow. So don't know that he was like Joe Exotic. When I look at his picture, I always look at people's eyes. It's like they're like the windows to your soul, to me. And I can usually see things. Like if I'm in a crowd, I try not to look at eyes because or I'll be looking into everybody's whatever. But it's like he had so much going on back behind those eyes. But it was like calm, and where somebody that leaves like that, most of them, they show me that their wires are all scrambled up like yarn, where they're all, confused, and, things just, their thoughts just aren't working right. But he does not feel that way, and he doesn't feel that way now. He feels like he had so much going on behind there, and not in a scrambled up way, but in a very high knowing way, if that makes any sense. Very he had a knowing. He had a knowing that he could look at somebody or he could look at something and kind of like I do, and just know that's what they're feeling, like an empath, and like he just knew. And all right, he said he says he absorbed a lot of that. He had extremely deep feelings. He said his feelings took him down to the basement sometimes, but he still doesn't show like he was all, confused, like I get sometimes. And like a lot of them who have left, that it was a silent, he says, dangerous knowing. Let me ask him something. Yeah, he's okay. He does say that part of it. Say it again. He starts to say something, and then he stops. Um, Part of it was the deep knowing of things, not only people around him, but things. Same thing I had. Things like out in the world. We just we know. We just we just know. Can't explain it. And it weighed heavy on him, and he could not explain it to anybody. He couldn't describe it to anybody because nobody believes us. I totally understand. Nobody believes us. They go, "How do you know that?" We just know. And he has that. You can just see it. You can see it in his eyes, through his eyes, behind his eyes. And it was calm and cool, collected, except for when he went to the basement. And I think he didn't know how to handle the knowing that he had, because it gets pretty tough to be this way. It does, when we know the evil out there and know things that are going on that might look one way on TV in the news or something, and it's way worse than that. It's way harder than that. He says, that's right. That's right. So that was part of his heaviness, and he wanted me to explain that to you. Thought you needed to know that. He says, "What up? Love you, man." Still playing the air drums, bebopping to some music. Oh, headbanging music. We're doing headbanging harder rock type stuff. He says not my type of music. Yeah, no. I listen to most music though. Now he's laughing his ass off because he knows about my friend used to always play. Oh, what was the band? The band, and the song was several years ago. Die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die, motherfucker, die. He always played that for me because he knew I hated hard rock, hard heavy metal, whatever you call it. He's laughing and he's doing it. He says he says you're very charming, more than you know. He's calling you charming and debonair, and I don't even know what you look like because I don't creep anybody's Facebook page. I don't want to know anything before I do a reading. And he's even showing you. Show me again. He's got you looking like Hugh Hefner in the smoking robe or whatever. God dang it, what are you, smoking jacket or whatever you call those robes. Maybe you're at the Playboy Mansion. I don't know, with a cigar, and you're just kind of suave and debonair. He's laughing now. This is the way he sees you. He says, you don't see yourself that way. He says, but you actually have that in you. He says you could so totally pull that off. I'm going to have to go look at your Facebook page when I get done. But he's also giggling about it. Maybe that's a joke between you guys. I don't know. They don't tell me everything. All right, now he's shinning up a tree. Why are you going up in the tree? And, there's always a reason for what they show. Okay, beware of trees. Beware of walking under trees because he's going to throw things out of the tree at you. So it might just be a leaf. You might be walking along. It might be just a leaf come down right in front of your face, or it could be a branch come down and hit you on the head, or it could be it could be a bird pooping on your head. I don't know for sure because he's showing several different things, and he's laughing hysterically, and now he's shaking the tree. So I don't know, maybe an acorn's going to fall on you or right in front of your face. I don't know. Beware of walking under trees. So if you dodge around the trees now because of that, and you see something fall under the tree next to you, know that that's meant for you anyway. And that'll be a sign. He's making me laugh. And make sure you validate him, acknowledge him, tell him I love you, man. Love you, man. And yeah, ask him to bring you more. He'll bring you some more stuff. So even if you see somebody climbing up in a tree, like in a movie, or shaking it, or dropping things out of a tree, know that that's Facebook. Doesn't matter where it's at. Same thing. Still a sign. It doesn't matter how it appears. I always ask them for unique stuff that instead of the same old shit. And they come up with some really good stuff. He's trying to play a song, but I can't hear it. Can't hear it. Okay, I can't hear the music, so I cannot even tell. I can't tell what type of song it is. It might be country. Don't know what you listen to, but it doesn't matter. You can be walking through somewhere, and the radio can flip on you. when your blues, he says, when your blues have gone away, but it's a song. So let me ask her, my Alexa. So the song we came up with is Bad. This is Bad Day by Daniel Powter, Powter. So he's singing that song to you for you. So go Google that, play it on YouTube, whatever. He says it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Okay, now he says ready, set, go, and he shows you like at the starting line of a race. You know, like on a high school track field or something. And you're squatted down, you know, in the position, and you take off like a bat out of hell. So whatever you're getting ready to do, you're going to take off running. You're going to take off great. He's going to be running beside you, only he's running backwards. He's running backwards like this, right next to you, and smiling at you. He says, I won't trip you this time. So ask him to help you. Whatever it is you're getting ready, set, go, and take off running. Maybe because you're coming out of quarantine and maybe you're going back to work or starting something new. He's not saying what it is, but ask him to help you. He's running along right beside you. So he can do all kinds of things. He can help open doors. He can nudge people, nudge people and get them to call or step into your life, or you'd be surprised what they can do. So ask him for help. He's more than willing. He says, I don't have nothing else to do right now. All right, all right. So I asked him to bring the lady back, ask her to step forward. And I don't remember how I described her before, but she's a little bit hunched over, elderly. Still got that cane. I know she had a cane. And she's still tapping the rubber tip on the floor. She says, call me Granny. She's somebody you knew in this life. I don't know if you believe in past lives, but they're there. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it too, but I know that it's real. She is from a past life. She was a granny somewhere in your lives. She was somebody here in this life. May not have been related to you. If she was related to you, if she was related to, she'd be like a great grandmother or something, or even great great. I don't feel the real close personal connection, but there is a relationship connection, if that makes any sense. At some point along the way, she could have been a neighbor. She could have felt grandmotherly to you, but at some point in one of your lives, she was your granny. She's kind of small and she's a little hunched over. She's got the cane, but she's very strong, determined, not stout not in body, but in personality, but very soft and loving too. She's got a whole bunch of qualities all mixed in there. Don't know if that'll help. She's showing me the letter A. I stink at names. So her name at some point would have started with an A. Um, she's not showing me anymore, and I can't make them. She is a guide for you. So just call on her. Call on her whenever you need maybe some of that determination. Maybe you need some of that love. Ask her to tap her cane. Ask her to show herself. Ask her. She's a very strong guide for you. You have to ask. You have to ask them, give them permission because they cannot override your free will choice. So you have to ask them and give them permission, and then you have to allow it, and you have to pay attention to all of a sudden you get a phone call from somebody. Um, all of a sudden somebody offers you a different type of job, or hey, let's go over here and let's learn how to do swing dancing. I don't know, just something out of the blue. Um, and those things that she will help put into your life. See if I'm explaining this right. She says yes. I don't feel like I'm explaining it right. Things that they put into your life isn't always because you need to go, let's say, learn swing dancing. Don't go learn swing dancing because that just, I don't know where that came from. But maybe painting, or sometimes it's because there's somebody there you need to meet. There's somebody you need to connect with in some way. That will be your way of running into them. And I know I've had people that I've run into and run into and run into different points in my life, and then finally ended up with them. You kind of just keep. I know that sounds confusing. I'm sorry. She says you'll get it. So as far as explaining her any more than that, I don't know if we're going to get anything more. But he felt the need that Joe felt that he needed to let her come through, that you needed to know about her. So when you kind of feel like you're falling a little bit, or you're scared of a, let's just say, new job or new adventure or something, call on Granny. Just say, Granny, need a little help with the determination part, or a little kick in the butt to move forward, or she'll be, you might even feel that cane kind of bounce you on the butt. Listen for that cane. You're just going to get it every so often just because she wants to remind you that she's there, and also at times when maybe you need a little pick me up or a little reminder that somebody loving and strong is there, you might hear it. And you might hear it up here. You might not always hear it with ears, those ears. You might hear it with these ears. All right, Joe's taking his fingers. And at first he walked across your head with his fingers. So you will feel that. And it probably won't feel like me tapping myself on the head. But you will feel, maybe it'll feel like a bug crawling across your head. And then he went across the back of your shoulders, walking his fingers. So it probably won't feel like real fingers because they don't have real fingers anymore. It might feel like just a little pressure going across there in different spots. It might feel like a bug going across there. It might feel like pins sticking you as he goes across there. Depends on how hard he's pushing the energy, and how you feel energy. Everybody feels it different. He says you don't need that new car. Are you thinking about buying a new car? He says you don't need it. You'll be fine. All right, there's a smell of some kind of smoke, and you'll smell that every so often when he's around. Okay, now I don't, now he's in a boat and he's rowing. He's rowing, but he's rowing backwards. It's kind of like a, what's the big boats where you get a bunch of people in them and you race them, but it doesn't look that big. But that's kind of the way he's rowing, like they do in rhythm. But it's more like a just a rowboat. Don't know where he's going with that. I don't know if you fish, and he's going to be in the boat with you, helping steer it. Really curious. He says six of one, half a dozen of the other. Six of one, half a dozen of the other. Don't. It's the same thing said in a different way. Not sure where he's going with that. This is his show. It's all up to him. Same thing, different day. Six of one, half a dozen of the other. Same thing, different day. Don't. Hopefully you'll understand what he's talking about. Now he says there's an elephant in the room. Oh, what is that saying when they talk about the elephant in the room? Something so obvious, but you don't see it. Oh, heck. Hang on. Let me see if I can figure out what that is. All right. So the elephant in the room, according to her, is something that like something in the room. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about it, but nobody wants to say anything about it because it might be politically embarrassing, personally embarrassing. They don't want to piss off all the other people in the room. But everybody knows about it. It's big. It's everybody knows. So if that makes any sense. He's talking about the elephant in the room. Okay, so he was kept drawing my eyes to my friend's name Julie. So he's acknowledging a female either named Julie or at least a female with a J-U name. He's petting what looks like a large puppy, and I would say it looks like a dang it, I just had the name of the dog. Great big white dogs. Really fluffy, really big, really large. Oh, crap. Friend's got two of them. Dang it. Anyway, but it looks like a puppy. I'll think of it in a minute when I get done, probably. But he had, I can't tell for sure. I think he has this puppy with him, but somebody may have this puppy now. It may still be here because he's not letting me know for sure, but he's kneeling down petting it. So if the dog is here and you know who has it and it's white, God dang it, I keep wanting to say Maltese. Those are little dogs. These are the big ones. Anyway, watch the dog because it knows he's there. All dogs, cats. I'm not sure about all animals. I think all animals, but I'm not sure. And small children, they see them and they hear them, and it's no big deal. So if you know somebody that has this dog, it might still be here. So the dog knows that he's petting him. No problem. He says I can get around and go places and do things like I never thought I'd be able to. It's freedom. Freedom. He's just relaxed. He's cool. He's laid back. Um he's just calm, cool, collected. He comes over here and he lays his head up against me. I don't think he's going to do that to you. I think he's just doing it to me. Usually when they do that in a reading, it's for you, but this feels more like it's for me. He says he loves me, and then he points and he says, I love you too. I respected you more than you knew. That's not something we boys say. So, yeah, he said he had a little bit of a hard time expressing how deeply he actually cared for other people. That he didn't say it as much as he wanted to or should have. Oh, he says he's leaving. And he's got this lady with him, so she does not feel related to him. So no, talk to him. I promise you 1,000% they can hear you, they can see you. Ask her for help. And don't expect it like right that second, but just kind of watch and see what happens like in the next couple of days or so, or when it's supposed to. You'll start getting that phone call from somebody out of the blue or a job offer or something. I mean, just whatever it is you want help with, ask them. They're making a big point of it. That's why she's stepping forward. She seems to be a very wise and strong lady. All right, they're leaving. Much love to you, my dear. I know I still didn't explain her very well, but that's the way she explained herself. See you later. Thank you very much, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones.